Hey everyone, Jan here, and I am going to talk about a one-shot named Toki Doki by Komi Naoshi. And if you don't know who Komi Naoshi is, he recently finished making his 25 volume series Nisekou Boss Love, um, which I absolutely adored. If you haven't heard me already mention it in this channel like a billion times. Um, well, basically, I just like to say first that this almost seems as if he himself hasn't written. Well, if you're not really familiar with his work, he's basically like another romantic comedy manga type writer, with exaggerated characters and what they do and how they act. And basically, that's basically Nisekoi. But when it comes to this, you would expect. What is this one shot people were saying? He published this one shot in a Japanese magazine. Forgot the name, but on October last year in 2016. And people were kind of expecting the same thing. Oh, one shot is like we have two new characters here. Maybe he'll turn this into a series, but um, it's completely different from what he's ever. Well, I've only ever read that one certain series from him, but from what I got from this series, is I didn't expect this at all. It's basically a tragedy, um, because we have these two main characters. The girl, a high school student, they introduce her as her being in her second year. Um, I don't think they ever specified her age, but her name's Hatsu Takagi. And Hatsu Takagi is this withdrawn girl that doesn't really want to interact with anybody because she apparently has this disease. Um, it's where, if you've heard about it, where you have weak heart muscles and it causes irregular heartbeats, and that can actually be fatal at some point because your heart's not going to be able to regulate blood and be able to keep itself strong in its place, and it'll fail one day. And but what's bad about this is this one's called tempocardy, this disease, and basically tempocardy is where you actually know, you're told by a doctor how many heartbeats you have left until you die. And I think that's terrible to know something like that. She apparently has this device implanted, and she has her phone and she scans it and it tells her it's a countdown of how many heartbeats. They actually show when she first shows she has like a couple, several million. I don't remember, but yeah, she shows the guy, and the guy that she actually opens up to is his name is Hato Ijima. He's a 17-year-old, kind of typical high schooler as they introduce him. I don't want to get too into it, but because I want you guys to read it, but basically, at the end of this, between these two characters, how they interact and how this ends, because well, it does show at the very first page that the girl does die at the age of 21 because of this disease, and just the way that these two interact, they basically show how the guy Hato tries to make Hatsu's life happy and how to make her live in the moment, because she has a limited time and he wants to show her that life really is all about the moment. And it's completely unlike anything I've seen from this guy, even though that Nisekou is the only series I've read of him. But it's very surprising. If you have read his work, you have to read this. It's called Toki Doki, and it'll completely devastate your heart. I mean, I nearly almost cried. I felt the tears right there as soon as I finished because I did not expect this. This is not like, this is not okay. It's not okay. It's very devastating, heart crunching, but it's a very good read. You'll really get something from this. Like really, you'll really get something from this. Like trust me, you have to go read this like right now if you haven't yet. Again, the author is Komi Naoshi. Well, I guess I don't really want to spoil anything, but that's pretty much my thoughts on this one shot. And at first, before I read it, I thought it could be a manga maybe that could be his next work, but after I read it, I'm like, no, this 50-page one shot basically sums up this entire story just right there. It's an entire story all in itself, this one single one shot, more than this 25-volume series Nisekou. This basically tells an entire story in 25 volumes, while Toki Doki says that in much more depth and much more heartfelt um, feels in just a single one shot, and it really impressed me that this guy really wrote something like this. Very tragic, but you really do get something from this. And I know I'm kind of repeating the same thing now, but well, um, that's my take on this one shot, my review. I really recommend it. You guys gotta read it. Didn't want to spoil anything about what happens, but you'll really enjoy it. Anyway, thanks for watching my nonsense. You know what to do if you like this video. Subscribe. I'll really appreciate it. And also down below on the link, follow me on Twitter. See what I'm up to. Thank you guys. Until next time.